Your daily dose of celebrity news, Hollywood gossip, and entertainment updates. Let's dive into the buzz. Subscribe for exclusive Hollywood news. Welcome to Hollywood Buzz. Your daily dose of celebrity news, Hollywood gossip, and entertainment updates. Let's dive into the buzz. Subscribe for exclusive Hollywood news. Stay in the know, stay in the buzz.
Okay, so have you ever imagined wading through one of those crystal clear rivers,
Oh, yeah.
sun's hitting your back,
Yeah.
and instead of just enjoying the scenery, you're actually hunting for gemstones.
Sounds pretty idyllic.
Right. You want to know more about this whole gem hunting thing? So we found this awesome guide,
Oh, cool.
and it is packed with all this cool information.
Nice.
It goes into the best places to look, what you need to bring, the tools, and even how to identify different types of gems.
Wow.
I get this. It even talks about using UV light to find gems that glow.
Oh, wow. Fluorescence.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I know, right?
So, how do these beautiful stones that are formed, deep within the earth, how do they even end up in rivers?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe volcanoes just spewing gems everywhere.
Not quite. It's a process that takes millions of years. It starts with erosion and weathering, breaking down rocks in the mountains and hills. And then these tiny little gemstone crystals. They're freed and carried downstream by the flow of water.
So a natural conveyor belt, basically.
Exactly. A natural conveyor belt transporting these sparkling treasures downstream.
I love that. And so this process makes certain areas, along the riverbed better for finding gems than others.
Right.
So where are these prime hunting grounds?
Wow.
The guide mentioned some spots that I never would have thought of, inside river bends.
Yeah, inside bends are great because the current slows down, allowing heavier materials like gemstones to settle there.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
But wouldn't the force of the water shatter some of the gemstones?
It's possible, but that's why locations like below waterfalls can be so productive.
Below waterfalls?
Yeah.
Whoa.
The force of the water erodes the rocks, revealing the gemstones.
It's so dramatic. I love it. Oh, the guide also mentions stream confluences.
Yeah.
Those spots where two streams meet.
Right.
It seems like that would be the opposite of where you'd want to look.
It might seem counterintuitive, but the turbulent mixing action at confluences creates these hot spots.
Oh, wow.
The water from both streams churns up the sediment and rocks, and that creates ideal conditions for heavier gemstones to settle out.
So cool. Okay, I'm ready to gear up. What kind of tools will I need?
Well, you won't need a pickaxe and dynamite.
Okay, good.
Some basic tools like a shovel and a trowel will be helpful for digging and sifting, and a sturdy sieve will help you separate the gems from the lighter materials.
Okay, but what about breaking open rocks? The guide mentions that some gems are hidden within larger rocks.
Yes, sometimes the most beautiful gemstones are locked away inside larger rocks.
So do I need a rock hammer for that?
A rock hammer can be helpful, but remember, safety first.
Yeah.
Always wear safety goggles and gloves when you're breaking rocks.
Of course. Now this is where it gets really interesting. The guide mentions using a UV light for gem hunting.
Yeah,
Is this like a black light?
you got it.
Will I be searching for glowing gems in the dark?
Certain gemstones, like fluorite, exhibit fluorescence under UV light. They have this secret glow that only reveals itself under specific wavelengths.
Wait, specific wavelength.
Yeah, different gemstones fluoresce under different wavelengths of UV light. The most common type of UV light used for gem hunting is called a shortwave UV light. It emits light at a wavelength of 254 nanometers.
Wow, that's way more technical than I expected. So I could be out there, UV light in hand, and suddenly a regular rock starts glowing?
Exactly. Some gems, like fluorite, might fluoresce a vibrant blue or purple under UV light.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for finding hidden treasure.
Exactly.
This is blowing my mind. Okay, let's talk about how to actually find these gems. The guide mentions visual inspection.
Mm-hmm.
So is it really as simple as just looking at the ground?
You'd be surprised how effective visual inspection can be. It's all about training your eye to spot the unusual colors and patterns that distinguish gemstones from ordinary rocks.
Okay, so I'll probably see every shiny pebble and think I struck it rich.
It's easy to get excited, but remember, not every shiny pebble is a gemstone. Look for unusual colors, crystal shapes, and the way light reflects off the surface.
Okay, so I'll try to contain my excitement. The guide also mentions sifting and panning. Yes. Which reminds me of panning for gold.
It is a similar technique.
Cool.
It utilizes the same principles of gravity and water flow to separate heavier materials from lighter ones.
And so the gold pan comes in handy here.
Exactly.
So I'm basically swirling water around in the pan and letting the gems sink to the bottom.
Precisely. You gently swirl the pan, allowing the lighter materials to wash over the edge, while the heavier gemstones settle at the bottom.
This is so fascinating. Okay, so before we get too carried away, let's talk about the types of gemstones we might actually find.
Okay.
What about quartz?
Ah, quartz.
That's like the clear crystal stuff, right?
That's one type of quartz, but it comes in a stunning array of varieties.
Oh, really?
Think amethyst with its gorgeous purple hues, smoky quartz with its mysterious smoky gray color, and citrine with its vibrant yellow tones.
Wow, I had no idea. Okay, so maybe I actually have a chance of finding some quartz.
Yeah.
But what about the more precious gemstones?
Like sapphires and rubies.
Yeah.
They're often found in alluvial deposits, which are basically sediments transported by water.
So they could have traveled a long way.
Exactly. They could have traveled quite a distance from their original source, carried by rivers over millions of years.
Wow. It's amazing to think about the journey these gemstones have taken.
It really is. And speaking of gemstones with a rich history, let's talk about jade.
Jade. I've always loved jade. It's so smooth and green, and it's so important in, like, Asian cultures.
Yeah, jade is often found in rivers that flow through areas with a history of jade mining.
Oh, wow.
So you might find a piece of jade that was once treasured by an ancient civilization.
That's amazing. But wouldn't all the good spots have been picked clean by now?
That's a common misconception.
Really?
Rivers are constantly changing and revealing new deposits. Plus, with a keen eye and some patience, you might find a hidden treasure that others have missed.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But before I do, let's talk about responsible gem hunting.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes respecting the environment and following local regulations.
Right. It's crucial that gem hunting never comes at the expense of the environment. Always obtain any necessary permits or permissions before you start digging.
So no, like, digging up entire riverbeds or anything like that?
Exactly. We want to leave the area as undisturbed as possible.
Right. It's about enjoying the thrill of the hunt, but also preserving it for future generations.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about specific techniques for finding gemstones. We've already talked about visual inspection, but what are some other strategies?
One technique is called crevicing.
Crevicing.
Yeah. It involves searching for gemstones in the cracks and crevices of rocks.
Why are crevices good spots for finding gems?
Well, think of crevices as like natural traps.
Oh.
As water flows over rocks, it carries these small gemstone crystals, and they can get lodged in those tiny spaces.
Oh, that makes sense. What tools would I need for crevicing?
A small screwdriver or a dental pick can be helpful, and a small brush can help dislodge any loose material. But remember, always be gentle.
Right, we don't want to damage the rocks. Are there any other techniques that the guide mentions?
Another technique is called sniping. Yeah, this involves searching for gemstones in the shallow gravel bars that form along the river's edge, especially after heavy rains.
So basically looking for areas where the river has, like, recently deposited fresh material.
Exactly.
Why is that a good strategy?
Heavy rains can dislodge gemstones upstream and carry them downstream, depositing them in these newly formed gravel bars.
It's like the river is giving you a fresh batch of treasure.
Precisely.
What should I be looking for in these gravel bars?
Keep an eye out for unusual colors, shapes, or sparkles. Remember, gemstones are heavier than gravel, so they tend to settle towards the bottom.
Okay, cool. Now I want to circle back to the UV lights.
Okay.
You mentioned that different gemstones fluoresce under different wavelengths of UV light.
Right.
Can you give me some examples?
Sure, fluorite can fluoresce a brilliant blue or purple under shortwave UV light,
Wow.
and calcite can fluoresce in a range of colors, including pink, orange, yellow, and red.
It's like nature's own light show.
Yeah.
So if I'm out there with my UV light, I should be looking for the blues and purples of fluorite and the rainbow colors of calcite.
Exactly. And remember, not all gemstones fluoresce.
Right.
So use your other senses too. Look for unusual colors, shapes, and patterns, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
This has been so eye-opening. I feel inspired to grab my gear and head to the river. Is there anything else we should keep in mind?
Yeah, I think it's easy to get caught up in, finding the most valuable gem or like filling up your bucket with as many as possible.
Right. But it's not really about that.
Yeah, it's more about the experience.
Exactly. It's about connecting with nature,
Mm-hmm.
experiencing that thrill of discovery,
Yeah,
and appreciating these incredible geological processes that have shaped our planet.
for sure. Like when you unearth a gem that's been hidden for millions of years, it's
Exactly.
pretty amazing. You know what I find so fascinating?
What's that?
Even like the tiniest pebble could have like a hidden beauty,
Oh, absolutely.
a story.
That's the magic of gem hunting.
Yeah,
There's wonder everywhere if we just take the time to look.
This has been an awesome deep dive.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned so much.
I can't wait to get out there and try this for myself.
Awesome.
If any of our listeners have had their own, gem hunting experiences or questions about anything we talked about today.
We'd love to hear from you.
Definitely.
Remember, gemstones are more than just, pretty objects.
Right.
They're like tangible pieces of Earth's history. Each one has a unique story to tell.
So cool.
Maybe you'll be the one to discover a gemstone that's been waiting millions of years to be found.
Until next time.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting.
Thanks for tuning into Hollywood Buzz. If you enjoyed today's updates, give this video a like and subscribe for more celebrity buzz. Don't miss these trending videos. Click now. Welcome to Hollywood Buzz. Your daily dose of celebrity news, Hollywood gossip, and entertainment updates. Let's dive into the buzz.